Greetings, this is CJ Ortiz of cjortiz.com and metalmotivation.com. I want to talk to you about something very simple. I write as I learn, and I learn as I write. You may have heard that phrase before. I write as I learn, and I learn as I write. What does that mean? You may be scared to death to start out and launch your project, your blog, your book, whatever it is. You may be reluctant to do that because you feel like you don't know enough to start. You feel like you've got to be the expert's expert before you start writing that book, before you start posting on a blog, before you start creating your Facebook business page. You think you've got to have everything worked out. You've got to know everything before you start. No one has ever done that before. No one waited till they knew everything before they started. No, they started writing because they write as they learn and they learn as they write. Haven't you had that happen to you before? You know, when you're talking to somebody about something, something that you know, but then as you're talking about it or you're teaching them about it, all of a sudden it starts to expand. And all of a sudden it's as if you're suddenly knowing new things about what you're teaching or what you thought you knew that you didn't know before just because you're discoursing about it. Or maybe you sit down and you start to write about a particular topic and suddenly it begins to expand in your mind and you start seeing other dimensions, other aspects, and it develops. Right. You are learning as you write. And you're writing as you learn. It's time for you to get started. There's a friend of mine who several years ago actually got a contract from the Complete Idiot's Guide book series to write the Complete Idiot's Guide to Self-Defense. Now, he's a self-defense expert, quote unquote. He had developed his own self-defense system, and so he got this book contract. So he needed a place to write the book, and I was renting some office space. And so I told him, listen, I'll go work at home. You can shack up in my office. And so he brought in a cot, a little refrigerator, and basically almost lived there for several months writing his book. And so one day I checked on him and I asked him, I said, how's it going, dude? And he told me, he said, well, CJ, I've learned two things. Number one, I'm not a self-defense expert. Number two, I'm quickly becoming one. Did you catch that? He said, I realized two things. Number one, I'm not a self-defense expert. Number two, I'm quickly becoming one because he's learning as he writes. Don't worry about the approval of others. Don't worry about the sanction of others. Don't overly worry about these credentials. You just get busy doing what it is you feel called and compelled to do. And you're going to develop, you're going to learn more, and you're going to grow. And that's all part of the process. So don't let fear hold you back. You'll write as you learn, and you'll learn as you write. So get started today. Can you dig that? I hope you can. Check out my website, cjortiz.com and metalmotivation.com. If there's anything I can help you with, be sure to email me today at metalmotivation@gmail.com.